thank you to all of you who are here. This is awesome. And then also thank you to everybody who's watching this recorded version later on. This is the Creators Circle. This is the third one we've done. My name is Taylor Gallegos. I am on the Art Walk committee this year, and this is kind of like a new project that we're doing. So, yeah, what we're gonna do first is we're gonna introduce ourselves, go around and introduce ourselves. You're gonna say your name, where you're from, and what type of art you like to do. And maybe just like say a name of an artist that you're into right now.
Say that again. So what
Say the
what?
name of an artist that you like. Yeah. So Don, you just went. Well, tell everyone where you're from originally.
I was born in Texas, but I grew up in Long Beach, California for the most part. So I consider myself from Southern California.
And you're a painter and you like the abstract.
Painter,
Yes.
abstract, acrylic.
Yeah. Cool. My name is Taylor Gallegos. I'm from Boulder, Colorado. Originally lived in North County since 2011. I'm a muralist and a painter on canvas. And Alphonse Mucha is an artist that I've just really kind of like been seeing a lot of his work lately in places, and I really like that like Art Nouveau style. It's got a real like just kind of beautiful, like classic, timeless element to it. Kathleen, you want to go next?
Yeah, so I'm Kathleen Osiander. I'm a painter. I am not classically trained, but I'm originally from Lakewood, California, and joined the Army and moved all over the place. And eventually we wound up here in Oceanside. And that's it.
Name an artist that you're
Right now there's a couple of guys actually on Instagram that I just love their looseness. They do pet portraits. The guy is I want to say it's Movchum. He's actually Ukraine. He's in Ukraine. He's actually had to move his family around a little bit, but he's an oil painter and he has a kind of a loose process with the animals. They're realistic, but they almost look dreamy.
Hmm.
I like it.
cool.
Simple.
Nice. All right. Thank you. Jared, you want to go next?
Sure. I'm Jared Lazar. I was born in Fresno, California. I've been in San Diego since 2004. I paint a lot of vibrant stuff like the octopus behind me. Um, Mainly acrylic on canvas, usually throwing a little spray paint in there when it makes sense. An artist I love also, Alphonse Mucha. I actually, funny enough, kind of how Dawn said she had a art teacher that said write your own syllabus. I too had one that I would draw thick lines around everything. And the art teacher was like, there's not thick lines in real life. I'm like, real life's boring. I don't want to paint real life. She was like, fine, make a report on an artist at any point in time that used a lot of thick line work. Um, and you can do whatever you want the rest of the semester if it's well done. And I wrote that on Alphonse Mucha. Uh,
Cool.
That's awesome.
Got a great style. Let's see. Janine,
Hi,
how we doing?
it's my legal name. I actually have a nickname is Priya,
Priya.
and I'm a weaver. I learned to weave in Japan, and I do it's called saori weaving. It's an art weaving. You don't follow a pattern or it's just like choosing paints, but I choose fibers. And I was doing a lot of wall art and hanging art and table runners and things. And then something shifted and I wanted to be a little bit more practical. and learn something new again. So I started making handbags out of the fibers that I wove. And I source everything from Japan. I used to live in Japan. I'm from Honolulu, Hawaii. I've been in California since COVID, and I spend a lot of time in Japan. So I use, I'm really into raw silk. A lot of people nowadays don't really even recognize what raw silk is, but it's a compassionate silk. It's also the way it's done, it doesn't hurt the silkworm. But out of the silks, I just kind of listen to some music, do some mantra, and just kind of keep choosing fibers as I go and colors as I go. And I relate to what you were saying earlier about because I've never done any other type of art, I've and how you were saying in the middle, how it's hard. I have a hard time in the middle, like, oh my God, this is not going to look good. And the whole part of Saori weaving is supposed to be, um, that everything is art. Nothing is right. Nothing is wrong. There are no mistakes. So when you're weaving this, like, nothing is a mistake. You just keep going with what you feel and you stay focused like that. But there is that part where, in the middle where I'm thinking, oh God, am I wasting all this money, all this fiber? And then when it's completed, I've found a lot of joy and felt really good about it. So I've just been doing this now for 2 years.
Awesome.
Wow,
Is
thanks.
there any artist that stands out to you these days?
I'm into visionary artists. There's one who's passed from Peru. His name is Pablo Amaringo. And from kind of medicine traditions in the jungle, the visionary art, I really am into that and played around with it for a while. And yeah, so that's really it. And there are some Japanese artists like Misao Joe and other ones that I really like.
Oh, awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody can relate to that feeling where you're like, I'm just putting money and energy and time into this, and maybe I'm wasting all of this stuff
Yeah.
to figure this out. Um, nice. All right, Michelle Russell, would you like to?
Yep. Sorry about that. I'm not a night person, so forgive me.
No problem.
Okay, my name is Michelle Russell. I was born in Camp Pendleton, but I grew up in Oceanside, pretty much the same house since I was 2 years old.
Nice.
And well, I did move out to Memphis for a couple years, and back to Vista, then back to the house. But my artist area is photography, because I've tried drawing and painting, and I can't even draw a straight line without the help of Photoshop. Um, I'm not really, I can't really think of any artist in particular off the top of my head because I just have an eclectic taste of pretty much everything. I like all types of stuff. Mu
Nice.
well, I music is where I think of everything. That's actually where a lot of my photography titles got the names from different songs or some books. The only artists I can think of off the top of my head are like Picasso and Da Vinci. And I do have a friend of mine who's a great artist. She used to live in Vista, now she lives in Florida. She can draw. She actually drew the computers in my husband's my business logo because I couldn't draw, so I paid her to make the drawings. Um, but I'm better in the morning, sorry.
You're all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You checked all the boxes there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Picasso, Da Vinci, you can't go wrong there. Um, All right, cool. Liz Lancaster, would you like to go next?
Yeah, nice to meet all of y'all. Happy to be here. And yeah, as for me, I grew up in the Southeast and then moved to California 10 years ago. I'm an oil painter. My work is kind of known for like dreamlike impressionistic realism. And so I'm really interested in kind of fusing interesting brushwork with landscapes or portraits, and I do a ton of plein air painting because San Diego is like super, super gorgeous. And as for artists that I really like, I feel like the artists that are on my mood board right now, I really have been loving work by Jenny Saville. If y'all have heard of her, she's worth a Google. And then I also just love the impressionists like Sargent and Monet, and all those classics.
What's the Jenny Savile's artwork like?
She takes like a portraiture and then she adds like super expressive marks within it. So it's almost like the portraits are, and her charcoal drawings also are almost like unraveling on the canvas, which is really cool. So she
Huh.
has themes of um, like body and figure and motherhood and um, yeah, they're super cool. She'll just make these massive faces. And so now that I've been moving, trying to do, yeah, her work's really cool. You could probably tell some of my, yeah. Her stuff is fun to look at. Um, and she's a living artist, so you might be able to see one of her pieces in person.
Nice. There we go. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Vance, welcome. So we're saying our name, where we're from, uh what type of art you do, and then name an artist or two that you're into these days.
Okay, easy. Yeah, Vance Osterhout. I'm like a engineer at a pharmaceutical company here. My art that I'm going to be doing, I mostly it's photography. That's what I'm down there to sell. I got some decent sized prints of, I don't know, tens of thousands of things that I've done over the years. I just picked some good ones. Also writing. I've written I have self-published like 14 books. Most of them are collections of poetry and things. I'm not there to sell that stuff though. Um, Favorite artists, probably Jean Leon Jerome is tops. He was like a French, neoclassical kind of painter and sculptor. And I don't know, I kind of like hack writers like Edgar Rice Burroughs and stuff. They just crank those books out. They got a formula and they follow it. I know that sounds like vapid, but what can I say? You learn the formula, you crank out art. It's amazing. Obviously work for them.
Cool. That's awesome. All right, let's see. We got Matt C. Would you like to go? Matt, you're in the car. I don't know if you can if you can speak into it. Is it possible to turn your audio on? Oh, maybe. If you get it figured out, you can jump on in. We've also got Catherine, who is here with no video or audio. Catherine, if you want to jump in, feel free.
Sure.
Oh, there you go.
So my name's Catherine and I'm an oil painter. I was born in Orange County. I grew up in Garden Grove. I don't know if anyone is familiar with it. Um, and yeah, what was the other question? Our favorite artist right now?
What type of art do you do, and who's an artist that stands out to you right now?
So I'm an oil painter, and lately I've been really inspired by like Edward Hopper. I've been painting like a lot of like nighttime like scenes, and I've also been really enjoying like adding like figures into my scenes. Um, and just kind of like that, like kind of like twilight time of day. I've really been enjoying.
Cool. Kathleen?
Yeah, that's Catherine Kennedy, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're one of my other favorite artists.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice of you to say. Thank you.
That's awesome. Very cool. All right. Thank you, Catherine Kennedy. You're a legend in the Oceanside art scene. It's great. Ivy, you want to jump on here? Are you able to? We can't hear you yet.
Hi, everyone.
What's up?
Hi.
Um, let's see, what was it? My my favorite artist is Edward Harper as well. Hopper as well. So we have that in common. I have that in common with Catherine. I am a photographer, a digital artist, uh, a seamstress. I mean, I just love art in general because it saves you, when you have a rough day, you revert to your happy space. What was the other one? Oh, I grew up in Newport and I came down to San Diego when my kids were in college. And now they all left me and I'm stuck here all by myself.
No, you're not. You have us.
You have us and you
Yes,
art.
yes. Oh, and I have a grandson who's a Marine, so I'm not completely by myself. He's coming over for dinner tomorrow.
There you go. Nice. All right. Matt, any luck with the audio? Maybe.
Um,
Hey,
I hope so.
Oh,
there we
Okay.
go. Nice.
Hi. Hi, how are you guys?
Good.
Good.
How are you doing?
Good. I'm sorry I'm late.
No, you're
I've been
fine.
working
You're all
and
good.
okay, great. But yeah, my name's Matt Simonelli. I've been living in Oceanside for about 33 years. I'm a veteran. I joined the Marine Corps when I was 17, got out and been in Oceanside ever since. And I'm an oil painter and uh, my favorite artists are street artists. I love Banksy, Basquiat, um, and just like for me, I really focus more on myself, on how could I be the best artist that I can possibly be. So I make sure I put the easel right in my path where I have to pass it. And I just love to I love the way I can just go wherever I want to go in my mind, and I can create whatever I want to do. That's my space, and um, I really don't care if nobody likes it or not. At the end of the day, it represents me, and I just hope everybody enjoys it. And I'm looking forward to meeting all the other artists that, so that we can inspire each other. And I'm thankful and grateful to be here. And I look forward to meeting everybody.
Yeah, thanks for joining. It's really awesome to have all of you here. I mean, in that 10 minutes, we just got to hear from all these different people with different art styles and processes and, people that they appreciate. And that's one of the values of as I see it, for the art walk, like there's like we get this connection point for artists because everyone's in our own studios and our own places doing our own things most of the time. So um, I'm really happy for this connection action that's happening. So yeah. Next up, we've got our featured speaker of the night. The way it's gonna go is it's a 15 to 20-minute talk on the topic of engaging with the public, with potential clientele, walking the art walk. We've got Kathleen Osiander. And so again, Kathleen is a U.S. Army veteran, resides in Oceanside. Kathleen is known for her pet portraits on rocks and coastal landscapes in acrylic and oil. Kathleen was trained as a graphic designer in the Army, stayed on to teach for 3 years at Lowry Air Force Base in Colorado, After military life and raising her family, she settled in Oceanside and has been a partner with the Art Walk for about 10 years now. So, without further ado, Kathleen,
Thank you
would you
for
like
that.
to take the stage?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. So I haven't done this before, so it's a little it's new to me. I haven't been in front of an audience in a while because used to teach, but that was another lifetime ago. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about is, since I've done the Art Walk, Artist Alley, I did it when they used to have us partnered up with a venue, like in front of a restaurant. And we did that in the early stages. We'd put a couple artists in front of a restaurant. And that way, hopefully, when people came in to eat, they would be able to see some artists sitting right there sharing their artwork. The problem with that was the rest of the artists would be in the heart of the art walk, which was always the artist alley. And so they felt left alone. So we tried that for a couple of years, and the artists that got sent farther away, they weren't not happy. And I felt it too. I really want everybody kind of close together. So we divided up into kind of two sections. If you got the nice 10 by 10 white tents, we put them over in the library area where the fountains are. And if you're pretty much a table set up, you can have a little smaller tent, you know, those kind of things. We've got it down to a pretty good science. And a lot of times Dawn and myself and Bridget and we'll walk around and see what people are doing, and it's always kind of a crapshoot, and that's what tonight. I hope that if anybody comes to this, they can kind of get a better idea of how they want to come to the art walk and what they want to bring. So one of the first things I kind of wanted to keep in mind is you're setting up a booth or a table. You, as an artist, you want to bring always your best. Your best. Don't try to fill a table up with stuff. Just have your best items and maybe create a portfolio. I've seen some people are now even going to a digital portfolio. So if you got some really, banger pieces out there, maybe you don't want to drag them to the art walk and carry stuff around. Bring one or two really nice big pieces, and then everything else, think of it as something somebody could easily walk away with, something they can put in their suitcase. Jewelry, weaving, all that stuff, that's it. That's a no-brainer. That's going to work. But as a painter or a photographer, the 5 by 10s, the 8 by 10s, those are great sizes, maybe matted in little bags. So those are the things you want to have, and have it organized, easy to flip through. You don't need 100 of the same thing, just one or two of each piece, maybe some cards. Those are the kind of quick sales, $20. People, that'll pay for your night there. And it's also like a calling card. People will be able to, remember you. Hopefully you have your name on your card or on the back of like a blank card. And anybody that comes into your station, you want to make sure you greet them and maybe give them something with your website, your Instagram, some way for them to contact you and find you. Even if they don't buy anything, if you have a little minute conversation with someone, that's tremendous right there. Just always make sure they walk away knowing your name. So another thing, you want to make sure your table, if you have breakables, keep in mind people are walking through with strollers, kids, and dogs. And everybody wants to be on the best behavior, but it doesn't always happen. So think about what's on your table, and if you have a piece that's maybe fragile, keep it kind of closer to you, or use that, I think it's called museum clay, kind of, something to really tack it down a little bit. But be thinking ahead. And another thing when you're setting up is signage. I see a lot of artists that do a nice little banner up, on their front or on their table, maybe behind them, kind of something that people will know to look for you, your brand. That always is helpful. And another interesting thing with signage is when people are walking by, you probably have 30 seconds to grab their attention. And they may have $20 in their pocket, or they maybe only have a credit card. It really helps if they know you can take a credit card. So maybe having something out that's visually, that you can see real fast, that you have that kind of availability. Like you can, I can do credit cards, or I use, Square or PayPal. And you might want to check that everything's working if you're using electronics before the evening starts. Sometimes you have to, in the alley, you have to walk a little further out of the alley to hold your phone to get it to work. And don't be afraid to ask another artist if they've been making sales about stuff. Maybe they can help you. You got to help each other. It's kind of really important. And I don't know, should I be asking you guys for questions on this, or just continue with my little?
I would say keep going with everything you're saying, and then
Okay.
when you're done, then we'll have a Q&A session, and so everybody can just throw questions at you then.
Right now, lighting's not really an issue, but I'll tell you what, last art walk we had, there was someone in those white, tents. I don't remember which artist it was, but they had their little white pop-up tent was glowing. It was just like, like Jesus was in there or something. That was just glowing. And they didn't have electrical. I don't know what they did, but it was the bomb. And if you're trying to sell a painting, or you want people to see, when the light starts getting dim, it's really a bummer if you don't have some kind of lighting. I should grab it to show you. I've got these magnets. I'm going to grab one really fast. But these lights, they're really good. And they have, I got them at Home Depot. They're like $15-20. They got little magnets here, and they're plug-in chargeables. These are great. They're not what that person had, because whatever they had, I'm telling you, it was magical. Fairy lights look really pretty, but they do not show off your art. They won't show off your jewelry. So make sure you have something, even if you're just holding extra light, so you can, shine over to help people see. But yeah, having some kind of lighting as the days get a little shorter, you're going to want that. And I wanted to let people know too, that you guys are paying for your spot. That's your spot. Don't let somebody encroach on you if you don't want them to. Just tell them, respect my space. And the people that come into your area, if anybody's unruly, or artists are different. Some art wants to be touched. It's okay to touch, like my acrylics. I'm okay with it. They don't smudge, but I don't want you touching my oils. It might be a little sticky, or I want you to pick this up. It's going to drop. So not every artist has the same feeling about it as you. So if someone comes in your space, kind of let them know, like, that's nice, honey, but let me hold it for you. If it's a child and they're acting unruly or they're being really obnoxious, you have every right to tell that kid to please don't touch, or can I get you to step back, please? And if the parents feel miffed or bothered at all by that, don't worry. You did not lose a sale, okay? You just saved yourself and some other artists some heartache. So don't feel bad about that. This is inappropriate attitudes around your art is not you don't have to accept that. Just use your voice. Be kind, but be firm. If people are skateboarding or doing something stupid, I'm telling you, just protect your art. I've seen some dumb things happen, and we don't need that. I just wanted to say that. Then also at Art Walk, we encourage everybody to be your authentic self. If you want to come to Art Walk and wear a top hat and crazy stuff and just really let go with all your creativity and look wild, we want that. It looks great. It brings people to your table. If you look a little intimidating, some people may not feel like you're approachable. So you're going to have to work harder to open yourself up to that person. If somebody kind of looks funny at you, you need to go up and introduce yourself or say hello. Make sure that they realize that's who you are, and let them know you're welcoming them. I hope that makes sense. It's not, using your phone is important, but the minute somebody looks at you, the more you make eye contact, the more they're going to engage with you. I walked by a table that had this young lady had these beautiful drawings, and she was young, and I said, wow, your paintings are really beautiful. I'm very impressed. And she was like, oh yeah, and just kept on her phone. And I was like, wow. I must have looked like the annoying mom or something. Like I wouldn't be interested in her art. But you should never judge who's coming to you or who's walking by. You never know who's going to buy from you. So always try to engage, try to be polite, try to, like I said, you have like 30 seconds if they're walking by. They may look at a painting, and this is a trick. You can tell them like, oh, you like this? Tell me, do you see the whale? Can you look hard? Do you see the whale? And then you get them in there looking, and they'll be like, no, I can't find it. Me neither. I could never find the whale in here because there isn't one. But you got them to come in, they laugh, you talk, and they may want to engage more. They may take more time to look at your stuff. At least they'll have a funny experience and they'll remember you. So also, when you have a group of people in your area, some people are kind of looking and they may have a question for you. They may not know who you are or who's the artist. So it does help if you have something to identify yourself, maybe a name tag, a lanyard, or if you want, you can have just something to maybe identify yourself, that's your booth. Where somebody comes in, you can always announce yourself like, hi, I'm Kathleen, I'm the artist here. Any questions? Can I answer anything? Help you out? People, they want to look and they might have a question, but I don't know, they get a little timid about talking sometimes. So you have to draw it out of them. Let's see. I had a couple other things. And, another thing too, it's when somebody's walking by and you haven't sold anything all night. So you're just sitting there, you're waiting for some people to come by, and you see people walk by and they bought something. Ask them what they got. Who did you see? What artist did you go get something from? Can you show? Can you share with me? Show me what you got. And I tell you, people love to show it. And they love to tell you in like what art. Oh, I know that's Dawn. I love her stuff. Or, oh, that's that's Taylor Gallegos. You're so lucky. He's an amazing artist. Pump up your artists, make them feel good about the sale. Then they're gonna kind of want to come in and talk to you. I've had that a lot where people, well, what do you have? Oh, and then they'll start looking at my art. So always, and then it helps you too to see, what's selling around here, what's working, and it kind of will inspire you to think about other ways of putting out your art. And also maybe you could even, I was going to ask Dawn about this. Like if somebody wanted to have their own personal little raffle, like they could do I wasn't quite sure if we're okay with it. I think it's okay. Like if somebody, like you had a little piece and you wanted to raffle it to the night, you had your own little art you want to do. If you buy something, I'll give you a free raffle ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, that wouldn't be a problem, right? That would get people to kind of come to your table. Oh, she's giving away something free. Just gotta, buy
Some artists do that to get people to sign up for their mailing list. They'll have like a little QR code and and it'll enter you to win a print or something like that. That way you get their emails and then they win something.
Okay, good. Then I wasn't saying something I shouldn't. And about Q&R codes too. If you're a little busy with someone and people are looking at your artwork, there is a way that you can put Q&R codes and they can go over your painting or your sculpture or your pot, whatever, and get the price there, right? And I'm not quite sure how that works, but that's another way of pricing. And you really should, if someone's asking you how much something is, you need to tell them right away. Don't hem and haw over it. They think you're making numbers up. So have it labeled at least on the back somewhere where it's not going to get lost. And I had something the other day at the gallery. A lady really wanted to buy a big painting, and it was the other lady's stuff on the wall was all around $450, $600. And she wanted this one painting and there was no price tag. So I called the artist and I said, hey, it's this one. Oh yeah. I don't know. I think it's like 400, maybe it's 300. What am I selling the others for? And unfortunately the phone was on speaker and I told her it was on speaker. And the lady's like, that's okay. Cause she didn't want, she wanted to know what the price was. She didn't want it to like jack up. She couldn't. So it was a mess. So just know what your prices are, have it very clear, and that'll save you a lot of headache. And let's see, one of the, having people hold an item for you. Like, oh, I want to come back for this. I'm going to come back for this. I mean, yeah, you can hold it for them, but I would give them a time limit. I'm only going to hold it for 30 minutes. We're only open for a few hours. I'm not going to hold it all night if somebody else wants it. That gives them 30 minutes to go shop around and then come back, but it doesn't leave you hanging all night in case somebody said, hey, I want to buy it, and you felt obligated to someone else. I always say, yeah, I'll hold it for you, but cash is king. If somebody comes up here and wants to buy it right now, I'm going to sell it. So, I mean, you're only there one night, so give them a little pressure on that. But another thing is if you get a chance, try to take a break. Try to get around and see what other artists are doing. See how they have their tables laid out. See how they have their tents set up. Make a new friend. Give a card out. Switch cards with somebody that you like the way they're set up. Maybe you can talk to them more about it. You're going to see some interesting, clever things because we're artists. We figure it out. Whether we have the money or not, we can figure a way around things. And that's a big one. So I usually work with maybe the table next to you. If you didn't bring a friend with you, chit chat with the folks next to you. I mean, my best friend in the whole world now is Melissa Nicolosi because her and I were always next to each other. Now we're like best friends. But they can watch a table while you just say, I'm going to take 15 minutes and I'll be back. And then just walk around, take a minute, give yourself some inspiration. But that's pretty much what keep it simple. You're going to be dragging a lot. It's a lot. I see artists that are just about done unpacking all their gear and all their artwork. And then they've got like an hour left and they're going to have to do the whole thing and put it away. So only bring your best and have a great time. Bring snacks too. And that's all I have. So I'm open to some questions. And Dawn's here, she can help answer questions.
That's awesome. I like the bring snacks addition at the end there. Okay.
Yeah, I once.
Okay, so this is like a Q&A time period here. Another thing that you could say, so you could ask Kathleen a question. You could also maybe say like a reflection. So you could say, for example, like for me, a reflection, Kathleen, when you brought up the signage, that's like the next level of me filling out my booth, is getting some signage, and it makes me think about like silent communication to people because a lot of people are just kind of cruising and like using their eyes to look at stuff, and some people like don't really talk much and aren't interested. But if you have that silent communication going with people where like it works just as well for you to not say anything as it does for you to say something, like that's a pretty cool, it's kind of like your booth is like working on its own.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that bring up any like other ideas for you of like ways to do that, or I don't know?
As a signage?
Yeah. Or like, I don't know.
Ways to silently communicate.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know. Yeah.
That's deep.
That's deep. Oh, all right.
Good.
Yeah, I think signage is important, and it has really gotten a lot cheaper than it was even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
At my last art walk I posted, I highly recommend. It's nothing fancy. I just did like a tabloid size printout that had an about me, some like exciting things that are coming up, and some photos of me painting the work. And I was so shocked at how many people would go read it, scan the code from my Instagram, and then like ask me about all the things that they just read. So it kind of took the pressure off for me to come up with conversation.
Yeah.
They were interested in.
Yeah, have a bio up in your booth somewhere. That's a good idea.
That's what you see in the gallery, so why not bring it to the walk?
Yeah, the upcoming events is cool. Go ahead.
I was going to say that I was liking I have some QR codes made so that it brings them, if they scan it, it can bring them right to my website so they can purchase the pieces that they're looking at. But I like the idea of the lighting as well. So this call has been great because I really feel like it's got me thinking about things that I wasn't thinking about.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to keep listening. Thank you.
Yeah, lighting has definitely gotten a lot cheaper too. now. Michelle, you were going to raise your hand?
Yes, at my booth, since I do photography, I actually have, I mean, obviously it's going to be impossible for anybody to have every single one of their works at the one table, but I actually have two books at my table. One is a catalog of all the nature photos I've done, for people to if they want to order any of my other photos on print. And the other book I have is a portfolio for photo shoots I've done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so you're like promoting and connecting with people over the different possibilities of what you can do as an artist.
Correct.
Right.
Of course, I do have some of my actual prints and stuff at my booth too.
No, that's tremendous. I do a lot of pet portraits, so I have a few out there, little things, and once they see on my Instagram, I am terrible when it comes to electronics, and it always gives me anxiety. So I have to find
I'm
some.
good with electronics.
Yeah, I find someone younger than me to help me out with it, but
I'll come find my booth on Friday to give you my card.
Oh, okay.
I'm Space 14.
I'll come and talk to you. I guess I should tell you guys too, I'm going to be, I have a ukulele group on the side. Some friends,
Okay.
we're going to get together and we'll be playing a couple times at Art Walk. So
Nice.
at 6, and we just got together, so it'll be raw and fun. But we're with, I'm also with Studio Ace. So that whole networking thing, I just started, the only ones I knew was Art Walk. And then now I'm in a North Coast art gallery and I'm with the Studio Ace and I'm volunteering. And I even volunteer with the Cat and Crystal Place too, and for inspiration for animals. But yeah, this is another thing, is getting to know the other artists. It's tremendous. It'll open up your world. And there's no person better to promote your art than other artists. And that's what we're here for.
One person that has done some really good job through time that I've seen of like guest or like engagement with people is Jared. Like I've been to a handful of art walks like around San Diego County, and I've seen you at a bunch of them, and like we've gotten to know each other over time because of it. And like I feel like you always have a sticker in hand, or at least on the table to like give out to people. You know, and I've taken them and I put them on my water bottles, and like I feel like it's like, have you
Yes.
always done that, or has the practice evolved? Yep, there we go. Yeah, and like, what are your thoughts on
That's
engagement?
Still
nice.
have mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay. Yes, everyone's got them. It's working.
I'm gonna put it on my luggage, so you might see my bag at the airport.
Perfect. I came from I co-owned a promotional products company for the last 10 years, and I actually sold my share at the end of last year to Just Do Art. I'm all in. And it's one of those things that uh, probably to some artists I can be almost obnoxious about. But I found stickers are amazing because everyone has water bottles now that they're putting stickers on. And so usually other artists, I'll give them out. But I do have them at my table to sell. And I'll make a list in my phone notes of every sell I've made and then put it over to Excel to see how I did at each um, event because I'm running it as a business. How much did it cost me to do this event? How much is my time worth at the end I'm essentially employing myself to be spending that time when I could maybe spend that time making art, hopefully to, sell. You have to choose your time wisely because you only have so much time and energy. And I'm shocked at how much I'll make just in like, free to $10 purchases in stickers. But anything you can do to get branded is huge. Like I have a huge pop-up tent that has, my name and my artwork all over the top of it. But you don't have to go that far. Like even you can even get like I've seen a lot of artists just make like a, 10 foot by maybe 6 inch high vinyl banner that they clip to a white tent with their name. And that's huge. Anything that you can, I'm super active on Instagram, so I try and drive as much traffic to my Instagram as possible if someone's not purchasing. And then, hopefully that will then lead them to my website through me marketing through Instagram.
Awesome. So yeah, you've got like a targeted, you have kind of a funnel set up of how your interaction is going to go and then where you're generally driving them towards. And you're thinking like, this is going to be the best setup for me to get these low sales, small sales, and then those lead to bigger ones.
Yeah, always start with the big ones and then make your way down. Like, oh, you like the octopus? I actually have clay prints of it as well right here. Oh, not in the budget for that. I have, poster prints of it. Worst case scenario, I have a sticker of it for $3.
Yeah, you kind of like you're giving them all the options and like you don't have $3 to spend. All right, no worries. Like
Okay, then you probably weren't
you
going to
like it at
purchase
some
any.
level.
Yeah, it's while it is very well, I do make it very much seem like I'm, just, trying to sell, which I am. At the end of the day, it's still just fun with the human interaction. I have a good friend who's in Laguna that does a ton of art that shared with me. He's like, I did the Sublime Sobriety Festival. I had a booth there at the end of May, and he came to my booth and he was like, "Man, people like will just stop and like check out your art. That's awesome." He's like, "I had a instructor that was told me, especially in this day and age, with everyone just attached to their phones and so much information coming to, your brain at all times, anytime you can get anyone to stop and, check out your art for 30 seconds is a win."
Yeah.
I also want to say another thing too is if you spend the whole night and you got up and you really are pushing, engaging and meeting people and sharing, and you sell nothing, you still need to think of this whole event as your, what is it, $35 of advertising that you spent marketing yourself. So even if you walk away and it was a night, you made yourself have fun, you made yourself talk to people, you gave out stickers, you gave out cards, people know your name, you made a couple of friends. That was a whole evening you spent on your art and getting people to see your creativity in your side, your authentic self, you. So it's never a bust. It's never a waste of time. It's important. And to do other shows, different parts of the cities, the San Diego, I think it's great. I'm getting to the point where it's a little hard for me to schlep everything around. If I had someone doing it with me, it'd be easier, but I usually am by myself. But I always say, even if you walk away with nothing, you walked away with a ton of stuff. You have stories, you have experiences, you've got some insight, you've got some inspiration.
Yeah, and it's such a learning opportunity. I mean, I feel like your advice about taking a break and going and walking around is really good. And like this year is my first year doing like these types of shows, these types of events. I've always done like more like art shows in a space where I like get people to come to it and create a thing that way. So this is like a whole new ball game for me and I'm learning a ton. And like I was set up next to who is it? Kathleen.
Catherine.
Catherine Kennedy, yes, last time. Yeah. So I bought a print from Catherine in October at the show at the Seabird, and that one was awesome. And then I was set up next to her this last time, and she was just like slanging these little prints like hotcakes. And I'm just like I was in awe. It was awesome. I was like, and Catherine, your setup is really cool. You've got like just sort of that like front table with all these little prints that are, it looked like $5 to $20. It seemed like that range, and your art is like bright and connectable. People really like just vibe with it. So, yeah, just watching what was happening next to me, I was getting ideas and being influenced and like, okay, how am I going to set myself up to be able to do a similar thing? And
Oh, thanks. I feel like something that helped me is putting like you said, like the table at the front of the booth because like for whatever reason, people are really scared to like come inside the booth. And so I feel like having something that like people can like flip through and you can kind of like say hi and then they're like more willing to like come inside
yeah,
Good
and
point.
like, engage. Yeah.
yeah, they're like everyone's a little timid walking
Yeah,
around.
people are scared.
The
Yeah.
tents are like four walls. I think the tables in the alley, it's a little more approachable. But I think the 10 by 10 tents, if everything's in the back, it's almost like they're walking into your space. So I think having something up in the front, whether it's the bin that they can flip through, or even just have your table up front and then have a big painting hanging behind you, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the originals, like when I bring them, it does help my print sales. Like I sell more prints when I bring my paintings with me and I take the time to like do like a bigger like setup and bring stuff to hang on the wall. So I feel like they kind of work in tandem with each other because it's like they see the painting and they kind of, sticker shock, whatever. And then like the print, I don't know. I feel like they help each other.
Mhm.
That's a good
It,
idea.
yeah.
Definitely. Like Jared, you were talking about it too. Like having different, it's like a menu where you can get a small, medium, large, or like that's great. Real quick, Cynthia Duran, welcome to the call. Uh, would you like to introduce yourself? Tell us your name, where you're from, what your art is all about, and then an artist who you've been interested in lately.
I am Cynthia Duran. I'm from Murrieta, California, and I love Oceanside. I camp out there by the beach and bike ride out there, so it's always a fun thing to find out things to do. I'm a sewist, so I upcycle and create from different embellishments, graphics from t-shirts and put them on shirts, flannels, jackets. I hand make purses. And I did my first art walk last month. And that was so much fun. I just love the vibe there. And the music was awesome. It was such an incredible evening. And so happy that there's going to be another one I can be in this week. So I did buy art from well, she makes necklaces, and I can't think I have her card sitting over in the other room, but I just was so when I got a chance to walk around and stop at her booth, her images that she created were so beautiful. So I bought two necklaces from her.
Awesome. Well, glad to have you as part of it all.
Thank you.
In the chat here, Catherine, you said, I feel like along those lines, name recognition. What did
Oh,
you
we were
mean?
talking about the sign, like how people like see the sign, and then like if they were come to multiple art walks, they might see it from like further away and be like, "Oh, I remember that, artist from last time."
Yeah. branding.
Yeah. And then Liz had asked about the popularity of print sizes. Jared says he has luck with 11 by 14s. Catherine, what size do you sell the most of? Or
I
what do
sell most of like 8 by 10s, which I price at $30. And then I sell quite a bit of like smaller ones, like 5 by 7s. And sometimes for like the really small ones, I'll do like a buy two get one free for like the mini prints.
And do you guys print your own prints or do you have them printed somewhere?
I have both, so it just sort of depends. Like the smaller stuff, cheaper stuff, I do myself, and then I also have more expensive prints as well that I have done at like a print shop.
Nice.
I've been working with Spirit Printing in National City for the last 12 years. They're great to work with, and they used to do like a lot of pamphlet work and stuff like that for churches, but they've since switched over the last couple of years to just focus on doing the like best they can to be like very meticulous about art reproduction, fine art reproduction, and have some wild stuff they can do. Like I have this octopus that has been printed as a 3D texture print on brushed aluminum. And
Wow.
people lose their mind over it. And think it's well varnished, so I tell people to touch it all the time. I'm like, no, go touch it. And like I've sold a bunch of them just from people like going up and touching it. It's great.
What are they called?
Spiritprinting.com.
I use Spirit too, actually. I
Mhm.
really like them. I tried another place. I've tried two other print shops, and like I've always gone back to Spirit because I feel like I don't know. They're just really easy to work with. They're really good to work with. They're really like they have a lot of attention to detail and yeah, their prices, I feel like the values is there too in terms of their price point.
Nice.
Thank you.
So what's the name of that? I haven't heard of that one before. Spirit Print?
Spirit Printing.
Yeah,
I'll
because
put it in the chat for everyone.
I've been for my matte, not matte prints. For acrylic, canvas, metal, and glass prints, I've been using a out-of-state place called photography.com because they did a really good job and it's affordable. Matte prints I do myself. Like I just made this one the other day. Like I'm trying to get in the photo frame here.
Nice.
And I also made this one where of the green flash. I got the green flash.
Nice.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
That's where I can get to the green flash. I can see. I can't see the camera. There's a there
Nice
it
green flash
is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
into my life.
The only thing I will say, and Jared, I don't know if you can speak to this within your experience, is like sometimes I do feel like Spirit, like you do have to plan ahead. Like you definitely can't like send them a big order and expect it to be done within like a few days. Like they definitely like are busy sometimes.
Yes, especially this time of year. They do a lot of art reproduction for artists that show at Comic-Con.
Ah,
I'm
So
going to be
it's
at Comic-Con, but I'm going to be working as a volunteer.
awesome. Comic-Con's a lot of fun. Yeah, it takes a while. I actually just dropped off a new painting that I did to Spirit this morning, and I was like, "Hey guys, I really need this scanned and color corrected and ready for reproduction in 2 weeks." And they're like, "Okay, we can do that." Like, definitely give it. You're definitely gonna have to give them a little grace, but their quality is worth it, I've found.
Good to know.
I've also used Bay Photo.
Oh yeah.
Bay Photo is pretty good. The quality levels there. You can choose all your different paper types, and they can print on like paper, canvas, metal. You can metal ones. You can do like different finishes, satin or matte or high gloss or whatever. There's a lot of cool options there. One thing that this topic of conversation was bringing up in my mind was like the concept of how we at our booth are like we're presenting our art, and then our interactions with people are sort of like an extension of our art. So when we're thinking about how we want to interact with people, it's like it can kind of be based on like the appropriateness, or like the style you want to interact with can kind of be based on like the style of your artwork. And ask yourself like, do you want to, yeah, do you want to be this way or do you want to be that way? Do you want to be like, uh, you know, I guess bring it back to like what's your art about, and what's your, the feeling of your art or your messaging of your art or whatever, and then build off that. Maybe um, different techniques will come up that will be appropriate or perfect for your art. So it's like their first interaction with you feels like it's already introducing them to your art in general.
I see what you mean. Yeah.
One thing I love about these events is that it's like you're getting so much live feedback that it's really interesting. Like I genuinely love just asking people. Um, my opener is usually like if someone's staring at one piece for a while, it's like, well, like, what, why are you drawn to this one? And I don't know if there's, I bring a lot of landscapes to the walks, and it's everyone always has like some little special memory at a place that I would have never thought of or realized. And I feel like it's so nice to kind of spark discussions on like why are people drawn to certain things, and then it can even segue so nicely into like, I've had people come to my booth at a previous walk and they're like, oh, I don't like this style at all, I'm more into like really bright pop colors. And I'd be like, oh my gosh, well, that tint right over there, if you haven't been, like to Jared's tint, that's like sounds exactly like what you might like to look at. So I feel like more reason to try to like get to know all the neighbors, because you can even guide people to the things that they might be interested in as you were just talking shop.
There's also, we started this new thing where they're giving us a little slip of paper of what's going on that evening. And last art walk, I was passing it out to the different tables, and it tells you what OMA's doing and what the library's got going on, and some events that are going on that night. So when people are coming by or talking to you, you can, or you don't know what to say, you can just ask them, oh, I see you have kids. We have a free art table for the kids over in Artist Alley over there. After you're done looking here, make sure you check them out. And so it's kind of nice having those other things going on and different to talk up, not just our art walk itself, but actually tell people the different things that are going on to inspire them to want to come back to see more. I hope next time.
Yeah. Or if you have a favorite restaurant close by, you can say, go get a gelato up the street, or go, yeah.
Handles, right? Yeah, handles.
I have a question. Earlier, someone mentioned about connection to using for accepting payment. Have we, as long as you tested it at the house and everything's working good, that you should feel confident in that? Or are you saying that we've heard that you get on site and all of a sudden you're having connection problems because you haven't tested it where your space is at? Do you recommend that you go test it there, or I just want to make sure that I can accept payment?
Right.
I would make sure that you have your cell service is good in the area. I think nowadays though, with people's cell phones, I don't think it's been an issue with payments.
Right.
I would always make sure that you have good cell service. Like, my cell doesn't work great on certain streets, but I think for the most part, I haven't had anybody have issues.
Just maybe, check your Venmo, ask somebody, to see if they can check your, sign up or get close. Like if you want to open up a payment, see if it's working, see if you're getting service. just sometimes in the center part of the alley, it's a little. It was always wonky with me. The cell phones are better now, but using my iPad, I was having an issue, and but usually it works.
Okay. Thank
You just have to walk down
Yeah.
walk a few to get another bar.
Or use a mobile
No,
hotspot.
got it.
Yeah, there you go. I don't have, see, now you're talking, it's above my echelon.
Yeah, I always have a mobile hotspot with me, and I also have portable chargers with me.
Oh, well, I'm going by you then. So we're good. Go check it out.
One thing, Liz, I like what you said there about the question, asking people questions. I've found I have so much fun asking people what they see in something or what it means to them or what do they think it is talking about or whatever. Like, I feel like a lot of people in the general public don't really get asked that often about what they think about art. And so like some people will try to deflect it, be like, "Oh, I don't really know anything about art. I don't know." But to be like, "No, what do you think?" Like it puts them in this place where they're like, "Oh, I'm invited into the conversation around art." Like I'm not an artist. You're like, "Yeah, you don't have to be to like to engage in it or to feel something from it or to be moved by it or like see something interesting." And I feel like I've been like really pleasantly surprised by a lot of these conversations that I've been having with people that like, don't get the opportunity to really like get into the fun philosophical deeper like, what do you think about color? What's your favorite color? Like stuff like that. Like it's like I feel like the more we can all do that, the more it just like activates the community in an artistic way.
That's really interesting too, because it's like, I feel like with visual arts, it's like one of the arts that like people feel like they can't engage in it. Whereas I feel like with like music or like film, I feel like there's so much more of like an assumption of like public engagement. But with visual arts, I feel like that's something like you're so right. Like that's an area that like we really can like get people to be more comfortable engaging with it more casually too.
Yeah, and we're really, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I was just having a conversation with someone today where I know that we've all heard the like, oh, I don't know anything about art. Oh, I can't paint. So like, or I could never even like buy art. Um, and I feel like people disqualify themselves from being able to like engage with artists. And so I always love to tell people I'm like, art is like wine or food. Like good art is art that you like. Like so um these like highbrow type of things where people are like, maybe this isn't accessible to me. You're like, no, like, just you're doing it. Just
Yeah.
think about it. It's great. But yeah, I feel like that's why like having like bringing art to the public like this is so nice because I feel like you meet a lot of people who would feel really uncomfortable in like your typical like show setting.
Yeah. And like all those interactions with people, you're like bringing people into the fold of being an art collector, even if it starts with like a $3 sticker, that gets them thinking about like, oh, art, like I just purchased a piece of art. This is something that's like that I found beauty in, or it was moving or whatever. And then they're gonna think more about it and more about it. And like we as artists are like we can be kind of like teachers about the world of art. Come on in, it's fun. It's moving, it's exciting, you feel stuff. Water's great, jump on in.
Um, quick
Go ahead, Matt.
quick
The Pat
question
Pack.
about setup. Um,
Yep.
you're right up to the spot, and you have a certain amount of time to unload from like 3 o'clock to from 3:30 to 5 o'clock or something like that,
Yeah,
and
so
then you have to pull your car away and park somewhere else.
Yeah, there you might even find parking pretty close to where your spot is, even. Technically, the parking is only 2 hours from, but then it stops at 6, I believe.
You're correct.
But there is free parking in the Civic Center parking lot. So you can always park your car and get your stuff all in your spot and then move your car, or if your car's in a legal spot, leave it there. Yeah. I'm not sure do you know what number you're in, Matt? I can't remember.
Yeah, 29.
29. Oh yeah, you're one of the ones that might actually find a spot right in front of your space, because there's
Okay.
parking right there. So there's
Oh,
also
wonderful.
a
Okay.
paid parking lot right there that is sometimes artists will pull into the paid parking lot and just unload their stuff and then go park their car. So it's
Okay,
not,
sounds great. This was wondering, like, it just sounds like if you bring a good amount of stuff, you can fairly do it pretty quick if you're pretty close to your setup spot. You
yeah.
know,
Well,
I, yeah, that's all. I was wondering.
if you need to unload too and then go park, one of us will be out there to help, we can watch. They have some volunteers that are going to be
Oh,
there.
it might just be me. Because
I'm supposed, well, at 5 o'clock, I'm supposed to be with Melissa, but I'll come earlier. But yeah, we'll help you. We've done it for how many years now? We could do a few more. It's a little
Okay,
confusing.
just wondering.
Yeah, if you have a cart, you can put stuff on. It's really helpful.
having a cart or a wheelbarrow, not wheelbarrow,
Wagon.
Wagon.
wagon, is always good too. I mean, most people come around 3 to set up. Michelle comes at like 1. She's set up before I even get back there at 2:30.
I love
I get that from my mom.
bird.
We just
I
ask
got that
you
from my
to be
mom.
set up. We ask you to be set up and pretty much ready to go by like 4:45, just so it's not disturbing other people that are set up and, people that are starting. Because as soon as they see you setting up, people are going to start walking over and talking to you. So,
Yeah, I've actually occasionally sold stuff before it even officially starts.
Right. Yeah, it happens.
I think we're in July now. I think it was the May Art Walk when my brother was helping me. I think I sold something about half an hour to an hour before. I think it was like 2:30, 3 o'clock. So we walked up and bought something.
That says another thing too about, time when it's time to close up, don't close up too early. Because a lot of times, I've seen a lot of artists sell stuff, right at the end. So, and it does help if the art walk is still full at 7:30, people aren't packing up. So, and it's early enough. We don't need to break down too early, but you never know. It might be that one lucky shot. Catch that last person with a couple bucks they want to burn, that's burning a hole.
That's a great point, Kathleen. And actually, when I
Okay.
break down, I will leave my stand of poster prints as the last thing I pack up. And people will see me packing up and like, oh my gosh, you're leaving. And I'm like, oh, I've got poster prints right here. And like, you'd be surprised at like I'll
Yeah.
get like 1 or 2 print cells like as I'm like, drenched in sweat, like breaking down my booth.
Yeah.
I had kind of speaking of like setup and stuff, a logistical question. I'm in the area that doesn't require the tent. If I don't have a tent, am I going to be the only one without a tent?
No.
No,
okay, okay. Or I was like, I don't, I know it's not required, but I didn't want to be like
You won't be.
You're
I've
not-
tried
uniform
tents
feel and
before.
then like me.
My husband
No,
tried tents
I don't have
before. We
one
just got
either.
so
Okay.
frustrated with them because we're short. So we always want to have to ask people to help with it.
I mean, it's a lot to like bring to, so it's like,
do hat though. If
I'll
you're
bring it if I have to, but if I don't have to, I'm just gonna leave it at home.
yeah.
yeah.
it's still kind of warm. I think it's gonna be warm Friday. Am I wrong? I think it's gonna be one of the hotter days.
Give me a check. Give me a check.
So you make sure you have a big hat, or if you have artwork that should not be in the sun,
Mhm.
we need
Keep
to,
hydrated.
yeah, bring water and
And
snacks.
also something sodium, because proper hydration is water and sodium.
Mhm.
And my dad was a doctor, so I got that drilled in me.
I've heard of that. I've heard of that. Also, is the area I was looking at the map, so I don't know if anyone else uses the pro panels. They're like the felt panels that stand up. I've brought them to one other walk before where there luckily there was like a tree, but I realized that once there's a breeze, they're like kind of catch the wind when they're not under a canopy.
You are up against, you should be fine.
Okay. I was like, if they're completely freestanding, I'll just need to like maybe bring a couple extra to like
Yeah, you can
balance them, but I'm, like, I'm
zag
no
them.
physicist.
I just started laying my stuff flat on the on my shelves because I got tired of the wind knocking them over.
I know I had the panels at a walk-in Seaport Village and it was like it was good. And then at one point the wind like came and they started to like completely fall down. So we like zip tied them to like a tree. But I think that the layout of the way the walk was, it was kind of like a wind tunnel. So I feel like if that was
Yeah,
something that they were prone to, that could
yeah.
go.
Sometimes the elements will catch you off guard. So, your panels, you said they're the felt ones that are completely blocked through, so air can't go through them.
Yeah, they're like the
So if you set them up too, um, we like it in the alley. You want to kind of like we've always said with the tents, you can have a tent because you want to be able to see down the alley. You know, it feels more open. If everybody's blocked off, it makes it very claustrophobic in there. So if your setup's behind you and has a little angle to it, that's fine. But if they're blocking you like that, it might close you off a little bit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm used to that being kind of the typical setup where people create like a square.
Yeah,
And that actually creates the balance for these.
yeah, I know. Do
There's
they
no-
have do they have flat feet that you could put weights on them or anything? Or
No, they just have a bar that locks across the top. So when you build the square, they like connect. Or they could lean against a wall. So maybe there's something.
You're
So
you're
Liz,
fine where you're at.
huh?
Okay.
She's fine.
Yes.
Okay, no worries.
I was gonna say, I was like, if it was just like out in freestanding space, it would definitely need to become like a box.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if
Do you
there's
have the three Dawn in her space?
What?
Can she have the three in her space?
Oh yeah. No,
Or
yeah. She's
three?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
on like trifold style.
Bring it on.
Yay.
yeah,
Whoever
Liz,
asked,
and I also have the pro panels and I don't use the like locking joint at the top. I
Yeah.
just use like the crossbar. And I was set up at like in the middle of a courtyard in Carlsbad last weekend, and I just had it like two panels straight and then another one at like kind of like a 45-degree angle, and then just used the crossbar
Oh, it's like
all
a
across.
triangle.
Like an L.
You like a yeah,
Like oh, like an L. Oh, and then the bracket instead of going like the four.
just use that like big crossbar. And then usually when you start, I've found when you start hanging art on it, it helps weigh it down. And thankfully it stayed up from like, I don't know, 10 to 4.
Oh, that's
Uh,
good.
so yeah,
Yeah.
there was a little bit of wind and I was kind of watching it, but it was good. It
I know
worked.
if this one was a little closer to where I lived, I'd be like, oh, I could always go grab another one or take one away. But I'm like, I need to know how. Like,
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
either gonna have too many or not enough. So,
I used to squeeze collapsible shelves.
I know maybe if I have to like create a wall, I'll invite the artist next to me to just hang stuff on their side of the felt.
Whoever asking about the heat, according to AccuWeather, it's supposed to be cool tomorrow. I mean, Friday compared to tomorrow and Thursday. We've got a heated advisory tomorrow and Thursday.
Thursday, Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, tomorrow and Thursday the heat advisory, and but Friday's supposed looks like it's gonna be cool to compare to that.
Cool down a little. Oh,
Yeah.
well, thank you for that.
Because I was showing the heat advisory to my brother, he laughed because the Thursday is the high one says 7 to 8 degrees, but feel like 85. And it says heat advisory. This is San Diego, so that's hot for us, but I showed to my family in Arizona, they start laughing. That's hot.
I'm curious whose iPad?
I've been wondering that too.
Somebody joined the group and they don't have a name. It just says iPad. I was just curious who it was.
Just now?
I joined a while back, actually.
Oh, there we go. Okay. Hi,
Sorry
Grace.
about that. Hi
Oh,
there.
no, it's fine. I was just curious who. I'm
Oh
like,
yeah, no, I joined a
who
little
is
while
that?
ago and I was trying not to interrupt anything. So I was just
Oh,
listening to everybody. So thank you.
of course, of course. Does anybody else have any tips or questions or?
I have one last one. I find everyone, it's very rare for I found for people to just go up to your tent, look at art, and buy it. People love buying a story though.
Yes.
Any information you can tell people about what you were going through, or maybe like, sometimes I'll share with people that this helps calm my anxiety, to do it. Like any sort of humanity that you can bring to your art, and any relatability you can bring to your art through your story, how you got to where you're at doing it, share. Don't be afraid to share.
Yeah.
Be a little vulnerable. It'll pay off.
Yeah. Yeah, people are interested in why artists make art, especially people that don't make art. They're always they want to know why, they want to know, yeah. They're interested. Yeah.
And I had another thing too is that people shouldn't judge us and we shouldn't judge them. I've had some really, you always think the mom and dad are the ones with the money, but I'll never forget. I've had this young kid really looking at one of my paintings, and he kept looking. He's like, man, that's turnarounds. That's the keyhole. And I was like, yeah. He goes, oh, I like surfing there. Oh, I like that. And I was like, yeah, yeah. And I talked to him a little bit. He goes, I'm going to buy that. And I go, okay, well, let me know. I'll give you a discount. He left, and then he came back and he had cash. And I said, well, I was going to give you a discount. And he said, no, I don't want a discount. I want that painting. And he was just awesome. He couldn't have been more than like 19 or 20. Maybe he was older, but he looked really young. And then I see him every once in a while, and he's just super cool. So, and never in a million years, I just thought, so it's like, I didn't think he would have the money.
That's why you offered him a discount. I was wondering why he went right to a discount.
Yeah, kids probably, still in school, didn't have any. No, he went and got the money, came right back and bought my painting. I was like, I was so impressed, and he valued me. So it was a really nice experience. And the other day I was talking to these two kids in the gallery, and they were just so sweet. And they were probably 18, and just super cool. We had a nice little conversation. And I said, here, have one of my cards. And I had a little, a greeting card, blank card with a little picture on it. And she's like, oh, that's so sweet. I have to pay you. I go, yeah, just take it. It's for you. And she goes, well, can I make a donation? I go, oh yeah, you can make a donation to the gallery. She dropped $20 in there. I was like, well, dang, girl. And I gave her some more cards. But it was just that whole, let it go. And so you'll be ready to receive so much more. So don't be afraid to, people will surprise you, but remember you're worth it. So and that's a hard thing for most artists to remind themselves is that, no, I'm worth this. You need to pay the full price or
Yes.
whatever. It's hard, especially when they're friends.
I have I have shirts and jackets, and so I have a signs because I do them in groups of by theme. So I have them set up for surf, sea and skate, bands, Disney, Star Wars, and then I have on each sign, $30 each, one of a kind, flannels, shirts. And if you buy 2 or more, it's $25 each. And so every once in a while, I have somebody say, oh, well, if we get a third one, what do we get a discount? And I said, yeah, you get the $25, 2 or more, they're $25 each, not 30. So you do get a discount, of course. But one lady was like, oh, well, that graphic on it is no longer exists. And I go, so we should get a discount. And I said, well, it's actually makes it be a collector's item now that it's no longer in existence. That's something people want. And then I go, the lady came and bought 6 shirts. So what am I going to do? Discount till I owe her money is my thinking. I didn't say that to her, but I just said, yeah. So it wasn't, that's what I learned from one lady who asked me, well, if I buy 3, can I get another so much off? And I just said, okay, 2 or more, well, $25 each, which I still think is pretty reasonable. When I see other people telling me, oh, we bought something like this, but it was $90 or $100. I like, oh, okay. They must have put a lot in to buy the back end cost of buying it to create it. Where mine are upcycled from secondhand items. So I'm not, trying to save stuff from going to the landfill and recreating something to make it new again.
Nice. All right. Anybody else? All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. And yeah, I feel like everybody that's left on the call, you guys are all pretty outgoing and, are good at drawing people into your space and engaging with the public. And so, yeah. But we appreciate everybody. And if you post on social media, tag us so I can reshare it on our stuff, and we will see everybody on Friday.
See you Friday.
Guys.
Thank you, Dawn.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
I look forward to seeing you all again. And I know you, Catherine Kennedy, if you're in there somewhere.
She just signed off, but
you left.
Just signed off.
I knew the funny story with Catherine is we'd never really met, and but I follow her on Instagram and I love her work. She's amazing. Yeah. And I saw her at the art walk and I was like, damn, this little girl. And I was like, God, those paintings, they look so familiar. I really like them. And then it dawned on me, oh, that's my girl. And I never looked at her. So it was really an honor to catch up with her. But yeah, this is great. It's a great community. Very blessed to have you all.
You too.
Oh, filling up those bags for you on Friday morning.
There you go. Fill up those water bags.
Those water bags. That's my little thing I
Your
do.
volunteer job.
I go fill up the water bags to keep the signs from blowing over.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you for doing that.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
All right.
we end it.
All right.
See everybody
you
Friday.
Friday.
All right.